Hi there. Let's be serious for a moment and talk about money. As you probably know, I live in Switzerland, and in Switzerland we don't make any jokes about money. Well, of course, that was a joke. We make jokes about everything, especially about ourselves. We are not Germans. Okay, what do we have here? We have some banknote checking systems. These were originally installed in some self-checkout devices. They take banknotes, they check if it's real and what value it has, and well, it accepts it or spits it back out. So let's see what's inside. I have already opened one of them a little bit, and well, it's a surprise for myself. So let's have fun with it. We have keys. These keys are most likely for the cassette here, which is missing. That takes up the money after it is checked. So it goes in here. There is a connector for it. Very thick, very stable metal brackets here. And if we zoom in on the label, we can see it's made by Controlsysteme, a Swiss company. But the device itself was made in Germany. Interesting. The warranty was well until 2021. There is only one problem. The company Controlsysteme went bankrupt in 2024. So I guess the warranty is over. You also won't find the website here. It's gone. It's deleted. The only thing you can find about Controlsysteme is there is a Facebook page, which is still online. You can also see it takes Swiss francs and euros, so it's a dual currency checker. In fact, we will see later the way it is built. It could check everything, dollars, yen, whatever, because it's an optical system. It says new Swiss francs 100 ready. I'm not sure if they mean the 100 Swiss, the banknote series that is actually in around now. They came out in 2016 to 2019, or if it's already ready for the announced new series of banknotes that will come out, I don't know, this year or maybe next year. Well, whatever. The company doesn't exist anymore. We can't ask them. Alright, no more talking. Let's take it apart. So first we have this yellow clip here that lets you remove the entire unit. There is also a tether here, so you can't rip out the cables. That's a clever move. Here you can see some rollers, so the banknote comes in horizontally, then goes down 90 degrees and goes down into the cash box. Let me see. It's about like that. Then goes down. Yeah. And by the way, that's a €0 banknote. That's a, well, a souvenir banknote This one is from Hamburg. You can buy them on some souvenir stands. There is another one made by the artist Sirma Kekes. This one is on real banknote paper, but it's also €0. Then we have a stepper motor here with a metal gear that meshes into this gear here that drives all the rollers. And we also have rollers here. These are not driven, they just are rolling along with the paper. Then there is a window, looks like a scanner of some sort. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. Alright, there is a PCB with something on it. Let's see what's on the other side. So let's have a look on this PCB here. I also removed the DC-DC converter from the housing. That it was in this cavity here. Yeah, looks like a DC-DC converter. Copyright 2006, so these devices have been around since quite some time. We can also see the labels, MDB power, MDB return, that would be ground for most cases, 3.3 volt, 5 volt, 15 volt. Yeah, and ground, ground, ground. So a DC-DC converter. Then on the main board, let me zoom out a little bit. We do have a chip that starts with DSP. Well, I guess that's a DSP, a digital signal processor. We have a static RAM. We have another static RAM on this side, so I think it was 64 kilobytes, or was it megabytes? Well, at least it was not very much. Then we have a row of LEDs, and if you look closely you can see these are a bunch of different LEDs. There are big ones, small ones. We will find out what they do. Then we have something that looks like photodiodes. They are also marked D8, D7, D9. So, and they only have 2 pins, so those are some large area photodiodes. What else do we have? We have this funny chip. It's a A6276 ELLWT, and that's a shift register with LED driver. And if you look at the traces, it goes up here to this row of LEDs, of course. Then we have a big or relatively small through-hole component. That's the typical style of a stepper motor driver. And if you look on the back side, you can see the traces go directly to that connector where the stepper motor was attached to. Yeah, that's more or less everything on this PCB here. There is another connector here, but there was nothing connected to it. Maybe it could be a serial interface for diagnostic or basic setup. Who knows? I'm a little bit surprised about the photodiodes here. I don't think they actually capture the image of the banknote that is moving across here. Maybe they do, but I expected some CCD sensor or something. But there is more stuff in here. You can see there is also a window, so maybe the CCD sensor is here. We also have two black LEDs here. These are most likely infrared LEDs. And I think, where are they going? They're going into these two dots here. And then we have a vertical sensor, most likely an infrared receiver, a photodiode or something, goes into this cavity here. So I think that is to detect if someone puts a banknote. Where is that going? Like so. Well, in fact, or is it going here? No. Okay. I was wrong. The LEDs go here into these two holes here, and there is a window, comes out on this side here, and detects somehow. There is another window here. So that goes underneath there. There's a window. There are no mirrors. Well, I don't know how they actually detect if a banknote is going in. Certainly with these two diodes. Maybe with the photodiodes here. Okay, let's see what's inside here. You can see there are two LEDs here, a red with a forbidden logo and a most likely green arrow. Let's try if they still work. And yes, of course they work. If you see this logo here, something is wrong with your banknote or maybe with the reader. And the green logo tells you you can continue, or maybe the banknote is accepted or the reader is online. I don't know exactly what it means. By the way, funny detail, if you look at the logo here, GPT, it's up and down, and you can also install it that way, so it's the same logo. Pretty clever detail. Alright, that's the PCB that sits on the other side. So that means our banknote. Now it's clear how this works. So we have infrared LED here, and maybe I think that's the receiver LED, well, a photodiode. Two of them, so that's an optical gate here. Yeah, that's how it works. It has nothing to do with this sensor here, maybe. There is one LED or something that looks sideways. Where does that go? That goes into, okay. There's some sort of plastic light guide here. Let's turn the power supply off. And there's also a window here. And there's another light guide on this side. So where did that go? Yeah, I think that's the receiver of this side thing here. Maybe this could be to see if there is only one node inserted or maybe multiple nodes. Don't know. There's another one going from this side to nowhere, maybe. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more photodiodes. And I'm wondering if these are the photodiodes that are hyped right now for to use as solar cells. In fact, they are pretty big for a photodiode. And some people are using them to harvest solar energy for tiny little microcontrollers and stuff like that. Would be interesting to see if they actually generate some power, like a solar cell. By the way, even a normal LED can generate power when light shines on it. It's only a couple of millivolts or 100 millivolts and maybe microamps because the chip is very small, so it doesn't take up a lot of energy. But if you have an LED, you connect a multimeter to it, a voltmeter, and you hold the LED into the sun, you will measure some voltage. Depending on the LED, some more, some less, and also these photodiodes, they do the same. So we don't have a CCD chip, obviously. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photodiodes in total, and we have a bunch of different LEDs. Yep. Alright, let's try that. The first one is obviously green, and there are a couple of green ones. I even see a blue one down here. The next one does nothing, but I assume that's probably infrared. I don't know, we can't see that in this camera. Yep, here we have blue ones and a green one. I don't know if they are all in parallel or if it's just turning them on somehow. So that's clearly a red one. Then we have another of these big ones that doesn't light up. Blue with some green. Green with a little bit of red. Red. Wait, what's that? Oh, okay. So that's red. That's also red. No. Yes, that's red. So I guess that's red. Yes. And that's the infrared. And that's the blue, and that's the green. Okay, so we have full spectrum, red, green, blue, and infrared. The node goes over this will be scanned, will be detected what is reflected, or even what goes through the node, because this is on the other side. We do some sandwich. Okay. These diodes will sense whatever is reflected from the banknote, and these diodes will get every light that goes through the node. So that's interesting. So for example, if there is a metal string in the node, well, we can see if we have that. Yeah, for example, this one, that's a metal string that can be detected by shining light through. There is a euro sign. Okay, that's a fantasy node. Let's go to the real nodes. For example, the Swiss node have this transparent window here. That Swiss cross here. We do have some metal printing here. Yeah, what else? We have this thing here, which is made of some sort of metal. We don't have a string that goes across the entire node. Maybe on the higher values. No. No. By the way, these dots here are also interesting. These are here to, well, if you want to copy a node on a color copier, it will recognize this pattern here, and it will recognize this is a banknote, and it will refuse copying. Do we have the same here? Well, that doesn't make much sense because it's a 0. Yes, but we do have. That's the same pattern or a similar pattern made with stars. That's also the anti-copy protection. And by the way, did you know that Switzerland has the most valuable banknote of them all? Yes, that's not a real one because I'm not that rich, but that's something that exists. It's a 1000 Swiss franc note. And by the way, they all have the same width, but different length. So that's also something you can identify our banknotes. And each value has another color. 10s are yellow, 20s are red, 50s are green. There are also 100, 200 and 1000. And at the moment that's $1,300 US in one note. Okay, I think that's all for today. Did I miss something? No, not really. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.